We've got an election here coming up in 2020, and we're one election away in America from open borders, socialism, gun confiscation. Whoa, we're fighting evil. Get with the program. Fight. Don't sit back and be passive, because this is a big deal. 60 years ago, Venezuela was the fourth on the World Economic Freedom Index. Today, they're 179th. Their citizens are dying of starvation. In only 10 years, Venezuela was destroyed by socialism, and it's coming to a place near you, America. Those Democrats, you can't let them win. You gotta not just make them lose, you gotta make them lose so much that they pay attention and maybe come back to where they used to be. People have said to me, John Kennedy, he was a Democrat, and I said, oh, come on, you gotta judge a guy by the backdrop of his time. He was a life member of the NRA, he was a right-wing guy. If he was around today, he would look at the Democratic Party and say, wow, what a nightmare this has turned out to be, because he was an American. Do what you can for your country, not for yourself, whereas these guys, they're all a bunch of goofs. These guys being the Democrats of today, of the day. Okay, jumping now, keep up. I'm going down to Detroit, Michigan. They had a concert, and there's this woman, she's a biracial rapper, and she said, I'm not gonna perform here because I just found out that you're charging people of color $10 to come in and you're charging white people $20. I can't make this stuff up. They actually advertised it that way. Try having a concert saying that if you're white, it's $10, and if you're black, it's 20. Good luck with that. But these guys, they not only get away with it, some people endorse it, and they like it. It ain't fair. It's just prejudice against us white folk. In any event, she says, I'm enraged because I'm biracial. And, you know, I'm half white, I guess. And some of my people, I've got to do this. And I'm thinking to myself, is that all you got? I mean, just because you've got some white blood in you, you're upset? It doesn't matter what color you are. Shouldn't you be upset anyway? You should be. That's not right. You can't charge people that are this color this and somebody else that. And that's not nice. I mean, I'm reminded of the guy in Alabama back in the 50s, and he said, oh, black people in the back of the bus and white people in the front of the bus. And the guy came along and said, hey, that's not nice. You got to pretend they're all one color. Pretend they're green. Hey, good idea. Opens up the bus door again. It says dark green at the back of the bus, light green at the front of the bus. You can't do that in today's world. You shouldn't have even then, probably. And she says, hey, I'm mad because I'm a little bit white. Here's some people. I feel for them. I really feel for them. They lost their daughter in the shooting. She was one of 58 people killed in Las Vegas. I get all that. Terrible, terrible tragedy. But they're suing 11 gun manufacturers. They're saying that it's their fault. It was illegal, negligent, and wrongful conduct of the gun companies. You're kind of pushing a rope up a hill here. Their primary argument is that the shooter had illegal fully automatic firearms. Well, he didn't. But even if he did, I mean, if they sold it and it was an illegal act to sell it, that's a different gig. But that's not the case. That's not the case. 11 gun manufacturers. If your child gets killed in a car with a Ford car, do you sue Ford? I mean, I guess you do if it blows up. But you don't if it's somebody else's fault, if somebody else rams in. It's sad. President Jimmy Carter recently said that the interference from Russia put President Trump into the White House, right? And he goes on to say that President Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016. He lost the election. He was put into office because of Russian interference on his behalf. You know, that's sad. Makes me sad that a man would talk like that. I mean, did the Russians make you vote a certain way? I don't think so. What kind of interference could a Russian actually have? They can do whatever they like with social media. They can stand on top of the Empire State Building and yell in Russian. I ain't going to do what they say. Are you? I don't think so. Russian interference, we've been hearing about it a zillion dollars ago, and 2 years ago it started, right? There wasn't any interference. And if there was, what's interference? Describe interference to me. I send someone an email and I'm interfering? I mean, today people are so engaged and so involved. Fake news, you hear so many things. Nobody's going to vote like a Russian tells them to vote, unless I really missed something here. I mean, I don't get it. And now you got President Carter. You should have stayed in the peanut business. I mean, that you shouldn't be involved in our business because that doesn't make sense. It's bad business. See ya.